Hey guys, and welcome back to Gunpla News, episode 16 for March 2016. This is part 5, and we're going to be talking about some featured kits. So if you're just coming into this month's episode of Gunpla News, the first 4 parts, you can go back and watch those, and you can watch the whole thing as a playlist if you want. First part, I talked about some Gundam related news. The second part talked about some kit and figure announcements. Third part talked about some kit and figure updates. And then the fourth part talked a little bit about some third party and resin kits. So in this part we're going to talk about some featured kits. I do have a theme this month, not for really any particular reason, but just that I found quite a few Gundams that sort of fit this theme, nice builds. So the theme is Iron-Blooded Orphans, so all 5 of this month's featured builds are different things from Iron-Blooded Orphans. So that's the theme. If you really hate Iron-Blooded Orphans, then just turn the video off now, or just watch. Maybe you'll still get some nice ideas because these are some really beautiful builds here from these modelers. So the first one that I want to talk about is an HG Gundam Barbatos by Syrup. This one is not really the most complicated thing that I've ever featured. It's really quite simple. It's just a repaint, recolor basically. And so, but the reason that I chose this is I really like the color choices and the top coat choice that he made for this. It's got a glossy top coat, which we really don't see a whole lot, especially on the Barbatos. I think this is probably the first, and we've seen like about 1 million builds of Barbatos since its release in HG form. This is, I think, probably the first one that I've seen with glossy top coat. So that's cool, unique about it. Another thing, just obviously the color scheme is super unique. I really like the color scheme. That's just personal taste. So that's why I chose it. But seeing as how this is my video and I do choose the selections for this, I like this, so I chose it to share with you guys. Again, not like really the most like technically complicated build here, just nicely painted and really creative. I think is kind of the nice thing that I like about this. Inner frame is this sort of like metallic silver, looks like. Again, I'm also not really too big of a fan of metallic-y, silvery kind of inner frames, even though it's very, very common. But in this case, I think it definitely fits the color scheme. So just the aesthetic overall is really good. The colors, all the colors coordinate very well. The black, the gray, and the very bright fluorescent red there. And again, just the fact that he's used that gloss, I'm assuming it's a he, used that gloss top coat on there is definitely fits the look of that, and it just works really well. So it's a good example of a really creative paint scheme there. So really nicely done. Next thing is a HG Gusion Rebake by Beatla. And this one, again, like the previously talked about Barbatos, is not really the most like technically stunning thing. There's not like a whole bunch of like customization or modifying or anything like that. The cool thing about this is just the color scheme, the paint scheme. Obviously, it's a very unique paint scheme here. We have the tiger stripes on there, and I think it looks really, really good. I think looks like this is how it should have been in the anime. Like, that's how it looks. Just the plain tan color scheme of the Gusion Rebake, to be honest, is a little bit boring. This is keeping that same color. It's still that same tan color, but now he's added the black tiger stripes all over the kit, and it looks really, really cool. I really like this. And again, that's not the most complicated thing to do. It's just masking for painting those armor parts. But it's really, really nicely done, and just the painting in general is really nicely done. I think everything else, all the painting looks good. But just again, it's just really creative, and that's kind of the point here. So I think one thing we've seen from this series is a lot of really good creative painting going on with the kits coming out from this series. So this is a really great example of that. Beautiful photography as well, just really simple, clean photography here as well. It's a good example of that. In one picture here you can see his Gundam Barbatos, which is a pretty standard color scheme for that, but does still have some modification in this color scheme for the Barbatos as well, which is also quite nice. But really cool painted figure there. Again, for all of these, if you want to see these pictures, more close up or see more pictures available, I do have the links for all of these featured kits in the information down below this video, so you can check that out. Check the link if you want to see more about any of these. So the next one is another HG Gundam Barbatos, but this time it's definitely more customized. This is the Gundam Barbatos Rikugame custom build by Mokimats. If you guys know Mokimats or Mokiplamo, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it's very, I think, well known, especially around like Facebook, Instagram, and like the Gunpla community in general. He's a very, very talented builder. I know he's a part of, he's very close with a lot of people that I know. I personally don't know him really well, but he's friends with a lot of the same people that I know in the community, like Justin and Ed and all these people. So yeah, really amazing build here. He's a really talented builder and also a really very productive builder, which I can respect. So not only is he very, very skilled and creative, and he definitely has a really good style, which is what I really respect. His kits always have really good style, but he's just so productive. So I really respect that fact about him as well, because that's one thing that I really want to improve on, is our productivity. I think, whatever. Anyway, my productivity in terms of painting kits is what I mean. So anyway, about this kit, it's really cool. He's taken the HG Barbatos and added parts from the 1/100 scale Barbatos. So really cool look to it, to give it this sort of like full armor look, and the color scheme on it is really nice as well. I really like that white and light blue color scheme. It works really well for the Barbatos. It looks like this looks like a kit like from Bandai that he's just painted and weathered. So the modification of using those 1/100 scale parts for this worked out really, really well. The weathering as well also looks really nice, and he's given it that axe. That's the axe from the weapon set 3 that has the ball mace on the top of it, but I think he's just gotten rid of that. Which I would agree with, that ball mace thing on there is kind of dumb. But and he's also got the Barbatos' sword and cannon on there as well. So really cool looking, kind of full armor looking Barbatos there, and just the weathering in general. I recommend you guys to really take a look at these pictures more close up. Go to the link and check out some of these photos. The weathering on here is really, really nice, and he on his Facebook page, follow him on Facebook too. He's done some really cool, just really like interesting, very useful photo tutorials about weathering recently, so check that out. Check him out everywhere, guys. So that's that Barbatos from Mokimats. And then we have an HG Grimgerde Tallgeese from Mob 283. This is a very, very fitting custom, I think. I only have a couple photos of it here to share with you guys. It's all the photos that I saw online, but it's just custom painted and then customized using the sort of builder parts arms, and then he's given it the dauber gun and the shield. And even the dauber gun looks modified, sort of kit bashed kind of dauber gun there, but looks good. And then of course he's modified the head to have the Tallgeese sort of mohawk on there as well, crest I guess you would call it. And then the backpack also has some custom parts there. Those are from some kit, I'm sure. I'm not able to tell because it looks like something from 00 or Age. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not as familiar with kits, especially HG kits from those series, so I can't really tell right offhand. But I also have this custom beam saber effect part too, which is also really nice. So again, just really cool, creative thing that he's got going here. For the chest vents, I'm not sure. That chest vents on there almost look like that's just a decal, like he just made a decal that is in like this yellow decal that looks like a chest vent and then just like placed on there. It's what that looks like, to be honest, but it's kind of hard to tell just looking at these photos, but that's what that looks like. Anyway, really cool kit. The Grimgerde is a super nice kit. I have it snapped over there. I'm going to review that for you guys very soon. I definitely recommend that kit though, and again, it is another great kit that I'm expecting we're going to see plenty more customs using that kit in the future. So the last thing that I want to talk about is a 1/100 scale Barbatos from NAOKI. So as you guys know, like, NAOKI is one of my favorite builders in the world. His work is just amazing. It's no wonder that he actually works with Bandai to produce like mobile suit designs and kits. and I'm assuming he's going to be working with them more and more in the future. So about this kit is just like a perfect example really of just like the elegance that NAOKI basically puts into his builds. It's like such little minor modifications, and sometimes it's much more heavy modifications, but for a lot of these builds like this, where like even at first glance you don't really see a lot of these modifications, but when you look closer you can see like it's like little tiny things have been modified. He's like added little detail parts here and there, added extra little panel lines or extra little details here and there all over the kit, just to really make it look so much better. And then just the painting, his painting is absolutely amazing. His colors are always perfect, and his color toning is so well done. The weathering is amazingly done. All the very, what do I want to say? I can't think of the right word of how I want to say it. Very natural and understated, possibly. It's not. I don't think that's the exact word that I wanted to use for that. I can't think of exactly what I want to say, but the weathering is beautiful on these as well. So again, and just like I love how he changed the like power symbol on the Gundam's chest, shoulder, and knees to black. Looks really good, and just like all these little things that all just come together to make such a really beautiful final product. It's really, really amazing. I would really recommend just taking a look at some of these photos and just like staring at them for a few hours and just like taking all these mental notes about like all these little things that you can do. And even like the decal placement is amazing. This thing has loads of decals on it, but they're really not that noticeable. And I know he does a lot of his own designing his own decals, so I'm sure he designed a lot of just decals especially for this probably. And so yeah, just really amazing, beautiful. Even adding like decals onto the inner frame, you can see there's decals on like the inner frame and the pistons and the stomach and things like that. Adding extra wires inside the back of it, like under the backpack sort of frame in there. Adding some more wires, just more detail inside the inner frame there like that. So really amazing job for this 1/100 scale Barbatos. And yeah, so at this point I'm just gonna wrap up this month's episode of Gunpla News. Thank you guys for watching that. In the first part, when I talked about the news, is what I would have mentioned this about my 15,000 subscriber contest that I have going now. But just because of the fact that to enter in that contest, I asked you guys to send mail. At this point, it's too late to send something unless you like overnight something to Korea. Probably, I don't think anyone's really going to do that, but just to remind you guys that the 15,000 subscriber contest is going to be finishing March 15th, so very shortly. On that evening, I'm going to do a live stream of choosing the winner. So you can watch that if you want to see that, if you entered that. Not very many people did, surprisingly, but we'll see. I don't know. There's still a few days left, so maybe I'll get a bunch more. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching this month's episode of Gunpla News. We'll see you very soon. A lot of stuff coming up, and people have been asking me about the Gunpla quick fix videos. Yes, I am still working on those. Please be patient. I am just like getting everything in the apartment is all kind of settled in now, and so it is something I'll be working on shortly. So thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.